Great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real, relevant, and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. I guess you're going to already see I feel like a proud parent. My cheeks are burning. I am excited more than you could even imagine because we are here today to celebrate one of our own, Candice Grant. How are you, Candice? Wave to everybody.
Hi, I'm well, thank you. How are you this morning?
Doing great, doing great. And also we have with us two of her classmates that have already graduated, but they came back, and I'm going to talk more about that throughout today's episode. But they came back, Dr. Liwanda Williams. Wave at everybody.
Hello.
And Algerina Pringle. You know that name right there works.
Hey.
All right, listen, today we're going to be celebrating with a young lady that's graduating from How to Start Your Own Show from Scratch. We are in for a tremendous treat to hear some of her backstory, some of the things she's experienced to become who she is today. And y'all are going to just be able to put lots of shout outs and comments and congratulatory messages, you name it. I know some of you are going to be watching the replay and things of that nature, and that's perfectly fine. That's such is life, because we actually call the show Kim Jacobs Show, balancing life and bringing it balance to this world, one household at a time. So that means people are balancing their lives in real time, working, doing with your children, going to doctor's appointments, all kind of stuff. It's okay. We know you're going to catch it when your life and time permits. So we're excited about it. All right. Everybody grab your virtual seats. Let us know where you're visiting in from. Tell us who you are, and we'd love to put your comments up throughout today's broadcast. I'm excited. All right. I am going to formally introduce these three lovely spirits that are here today and give you the opportunity to just learn a little bit about them. Let's start with Algerina Pringle. Algerina Pringle is a wife, a mother, a life coach, and a leadership developer. She is uniquely connected to people that she comes in contact with, and her connection inspires her and gives her admiration to help them see their highest potential. She's the founder and CEO of two companies, Transitioning into Wholeness, which is a nonprofit, and she also offers a talk show through that program. And then she is also alongside Vibrant Scents, which is a candle company that she also owns. I'm going to let her tell a little bit more about her backstory, but welcome, Algerina Pringle. How are you today?
Fine. How you doing? How y'all doing?
Hey.
Well, Algerina, before I introduce Dr. Liwanda, I want to make sure that I give you just a few minutes because the majority of the show is going to be focused today on Candice, right? So yeah. I want to give you a chance to just say a little bit about yourself and your show and when people can kind of tune into it.
Okay, yes, my show is Transitioning into Wholeness. I air Sundays at 7 p.m. You can find me on Facebook. Transitioning into Wholeness is my Facebook page. It's where people come and tell their stories, where they can connect with us on a personal base and be inspired by them.
And they do get inspired because I personally think that you are very candid and real in your conversation, and I love your approach to your show. And so people, you definitely want to tune in to Transitioning into Wholeness. And Algerina graduated from our program as well, which is a 6-week training on how to start your own show from scratch. And she took it and just ran right on with it. So congratulations to you, Algerina.
Thank you.
You want anybody to know anything else about you from your backstory or life, or a little summary about who you are?
Tune in to Transition to Wholeness. The story is still being written, child. It's still being written. So, hey, tune in.
I love that. The story is still being written. So it's not, there is no end of the story yet. So transitioning into wholeness as you are going through the process of transitioning into becoming whole. I love that. See, I know that because I help coach in the back office, so I know some of the behind the scenes stuff. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you, Algerina. I just want to compliment you. And I want to also make sure you all get to hear from Dr. Liwanda Williams before we get started here on All About Candice today, right? So Dr. Liwanda Williams, tell us, if you will, who you are and what your show is called and when they can tune in.
Okay. Hello, I am Dr. Liwanda Williams, and my show is Abundantly Restored, where we ignite faith, hope, and transformation. We air on Thursdays at 6 o'clock p.m. on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Please tune in our stories. We have different stories. We have different things where we highlight, we start like people. We do different things on the show. It's not just formed to one thing, but what it is that there are people that have had setbacks, but yet major comebacks. So we get to see how they transition and had their comeback. So it's good when we can get to see exactly where someone has come from and the journey that they had to take to get there. So as the guests come on, we have topics, and we, have certain specific topics that we talk about, and hopefully that it's encouraging people to know that you can be restored, and not just restored, but restored abundantly, because he doesn't do things little. God doesn't do things little. He does things big. So it's abundantly. When he restores, he's going to restore us back abundantly. So tune in on Thursdays, definitely at 6 o'clock p.m. and you will not be disappointed. We thank God for the guests and for those. We've been receiving such great feedback. And I thank you so much to the support and to the viewers and each one of you. But we're glad to be here with Candice. I'm so glad to be here to celebrate with you today. Definitely.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm excited for you.
You are abundantly restored. You do not want to miss any episode of Abundantly Restored, because this is a woman in ministry. And so she's wearing so many different hats. So she's talking to you from a spiritual perspective, but then she's also talking to you from a practical and natural perspective too. So it's a well-rounded approach to being able to, how do you really go from the need to be restored to full restoration? And so that's a process. And so you will learn that through Dr. Liwanda Williams. And she's being modest today, but she's going to be preaching. She'll be leaning in, shaking her head.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So you don't want to miss any of those episodes on Thursdays at 6 p.m. And all right. So today, though, just so everybody knows the flow of how this is working. And I didn't even say a little bit about you, Dr. Liwanda Williams. Let me make sure that people know that you're married to Pastor Kevin D. Williams and that you currently work in ministry together at United Fellowship Ministries in Christ, Newark, New Jersey area. You are also have been in ministry. Well, I kind of said that already, but for over 25 years. That's a long time, y'all, to be dealing with all these personalities, all these folk. And they be giving you the business when you're in leadership and expecting you to handle it different than they would handle it, right? Okay. She has served various capacities in ministry and has been called to minister to those that are broken. So that's her specialty area. And she also assists families and communities in restoring their finances through workshops and seminars, and has over 35 years in the financial industry as well. So this woman is a powerhouse to be reckoned with, and you're going to learn a lot more about her when you tune in to her show. So make sure you do that, okay?
Thank you.
You're doing a good job giving y'all some justice out here, right?
Thank you.
Listen, today, again, just so you know the flow of how things are going, we're going to be talking about Candice Grant, and she is a person that has graduated from the program of How to Start Your Own Show from Scratch. You're going to get to hear a little bit about her backstory, and then also more about how you can also take the training yourself. And we'll be presenting her with something that's a certificate of completion today. So that's kind of the flow of today's program. Candice, Harris Grant is an author, speaker, teacher, and advocate, and her first book is Be Willing: How to Live an Affirmative and Empowering Life Right Now. Not next month, next year, now. And in this, she's inspiring. It's an inspiring guide to getting up after being blindsided by sudden detours that come into our lives. She's also a part of a second published work, which is Mama Stories, Gifts from Our Mothers. And it's a powerful compilation of 13 African-American daughters sharing their heartfelt stories about their moms. Now, it's a lot more to Candice's story, but I have to allow her to share that. So, Candice, how are you today?
I'm doing well. I'm grateful to be here with you ladies. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you.
And thank you for this training.
But thank you. And you're such a beautiful spirit and a bright light in society. And so I'm excited today to focus on you. If you would, tell everybody just some of your backstory.
Okay, well, I'm Candice Grant. I'm a wife to Keith Grant, who's been my best friend and husband now for nearly 30 years. We both hail from South Carolina. I'm originally from Columbia, South Carolina. And my husband, yeah, there we are. All these pictures are candid, y'all. There are no studio pictures today. So this is my husband, Keith.
I love it.
We're both from South Carolina. He's from Charleston, South Carolina, and I am from Columbia, South Carolina. We met through a mutual best friend, married, moved from that part of South Carolina up to Rock Hill, and then landed in Charlotte about 28 years ago. He and I are the proud parents of 3 children. We have our oldest son, Cam, who is living here in Charlotte, 28 years old now. We have our youngest daughter, Carisi, who's actually graduating from college this Saturday and will be relocating to New York, where she has an internship. And our third child, our youngest son, Corey, is the angel that we'll be speaking about today. Our Corey was born with a diagnosis of autism, later developed epilepsy, and much later kidney failure before he gained his wings in November of 2022. And I love all of my children. Every child is an inspiration, and I feel every child teaches us. But the life lessons that I learned from Corey Grant when he was on this planet, and he's still teaching me from heaven, are enough to keep you here for hours and days. So I'll be sharing a little bit about that. Corey, my son, my teacher, and now our angel.
Now let me put a picture up too. Is this because this
This
is your
Corey. This is our youngest son, Corey. He's the angel. And that smile you see on his face, you saw on his face every day, regardless of what was going on. That's him.
Yes.
This is our Corey. The headphones are there for the sensory needs that he exhibited. Autism sometimes makes a person a little more sensitive to their environment. And Corey was known for the headphones, for music, and that powerful smile that he shared with every single person, no matter who you were or where you were. That's him. This is the light. That the smile that you see me wear is mine, but I share his smile still because I can feel it beating in my heart every moment.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
You
Yes,
can just
I can
feel
tell
the
you.
love and the joy coming, even just right now. I never met Corey, but to just see this picture, it's like he is so happy, so sincere, and so full of life, and at an early age in life. Look at this.
This kid, I tell you, he would never met a stranger. So whenever he was out in the community with his wonderful assistant, after graduating from high school, we got Corey a personal assistant. And they would go in the community and work on goals that my husband Keith and I would come up with together. So it helped him learn how to spend money, which he learned very quickly and did very well. It helped him learn that when he entered a space, he should greet people and say hello and warm them with that smile. So everybody from Firehouse Subs to Firebirds Restaurant to where he got a job at a nonprofit doing computer work, everybody got to know that smile. And I tell you, it just warms the hearts of anyone who knew him before or even sees pictures and gets to know him now.
Wow, it's making me smile even more today. I thought I was already smiling pretty big, but it's making me smile even more today just because of the smile that he has. So that's so important to know that a person's legacy lives way beyond when they're here on this earth. They still have some level of impact on everyone that still encounters them, and their labor is not in vain. You know?
That's right. That is so true. Yes, absolutely right. Absolutely. I could tell you so many stories.
So what you say you grew up, you were very shy as a young girl, and it doesn't appear that way anymore, not with that beautiful smile and this beautiful aura that's about you. Tell us, how did you ultimately get out of that shyness?
My mother was largely responsible for that. My mom gained her wings in December of 2020, and I'm close to both my parents, but my mother was a shy woman herself. So it really mattered to her that I be able to be true to who I am, but at the same time, use all the gifts that she knew I had. So she nurtured me. She was my very first friend, my mentor, the person I looked to up to most in this life. And she made sure that she nurtured that side of me. She understood the shyness, but she nurtured it in such a way that I was able to kind of shed it and come out when I needed to. What really helped me with that, though, was writing. Writing for me is more than a profession. It's the way I learned to communicate because I was so shy. So I could express how I felt better when I was writing. So that's kind of what led me to pursue it as a career and kind of keep going with it. So between writing and my mother's gentle nudges, I became the person who can't stop talking now.
Okay. And now I have a picture. I have some pictures that's stored back here. So you have to tell me if I'm putting the wrong one, but I think this is who is this beautiful?
That's my mom. That is my mother. Yes, that's my mom. Such a beautiful woman, such an incredible spirit. I'll say this, she was shy if she didn't know you.
Okay.
Once she got to know you, she wasn't quite that shy.
Then she talked. Go in.
She was very refined, just a very elegant woman, and very demure, very attractive. And I just admired her so, so very much. I really did. And what's interesting, quick sneak peek, in the book Mama Stories, we were able to share our stories. Everyone had a different story. Some women were very close and connected with their mothers. Some were not. And they were able to share from that perspective. But that outfit that my mother's wearing in that picture, I had a dream of my mother literally the night that she died. She came to me in a dream because I was so upset that once I found out that she had gone on to heaven, I was looking through my phone to save all the pictures and the recipes and all the things that she was sending me. And they were all gone, disappeared that night. And I was beside myself, just trying to figure out, well, why would this happen now? So I had my husband on the phone with Verizon, and I was on the phone with other people trying to figure out what to do. Even the Verizon reps were confused. I could tell that they were trying to be calm, because by that time I was almost hysterical, but they were trying, and they said, for some reason, we just can't find them. So I had a dream that night. My mother appeared in that very same outfit in front of a train station, and she stood in front of me and held up a phone and shook her head. Just shook her head no. And I don't know, I was speechless in the dream, but I could feel that she was telling me, just as my daughter and my auntie pulled me aside to say, she's letting you know that that's not where she is, and that that's not what you need to be able to hold on to her. Those messages don't really matter. She's in your heart now, and it's okay, and that it's okay. So I just, that moment for me let me know, as you said a moment ago, Kim, legacy transcends our life here. When we go to heaven, we still have a piece of us here. It's still alive. It's still here. And she let me know that without any gray area whatsoever in that dream. She saw me. She knew what I was doing. And she was telling me that it wasn't necessary. So I don't even have words to describe what that made me feel, but I just knew. I just knew. And she sticks her head in my dream. She and Corey both show themselves in my dream periodically at interesting times with timely messages. So I just know that connection, that love that God blesses us with when we have loved ones, that doesn't ever die. It never dies.
That's right.
Okay. I'm glad we have 3 other hosts on here, because if need be, Dr. Liwanda be like, Kim, pull yourself off the screen, baby.
That's all right. That's all right.
It's all right, though.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that God gave you that closure, because some things happen in our lives that we can't predict and we don't foresee. It's like now, out of all times, you have Google Photos, you have everything. So it's like, you got photos. So it's no reason for the photos to be missing, because they've been there all along while she was here.
Right.
A specific time, and a time that was for connecting between you and your mother, that God wanted to reveal some things through that chain of responses or reactions and deletions or whatever. You're all gonna know why, but
that's right.
Exposure for you, you know.
Yeah.
That's right. I thank God for that. I truly do. You're so right.
Yeah.
It was a real blessing to have that, because without it, I don't know. So and it especially matters because my mom was hospitalized when she went to heaven. She wasn't at home. So we weren't able to physically be with her when she made that step. So fortunately, my brother was able to be there via phone, but I don't know, that just made it all the more of a blessing for me, you know, made me even more grateful that I was able to see her in that way.
No, that was good. That was good, because you need closure. You know, I always say you need closure. You know, I just, you know, think back to just thinking back to you just talking just took me back for a minute, because I know how I struggled with the closure of my mother, and I begged God to give me closure. I said, I gotta have closure, you know, and I thank God He gave it to me though. He did. So, you know, I really commend you, you know, you going forward and just, you know, and still pressing and still knowing that there's that presence and that part of her that will always be there. And you know, you take comfort in that, and it keeps you going. It really does. On some days you hear them more than others. You're like, okay, I hear you. Yes. So it does. It's just in the right moments. I don't know. It's just like at the right moments, at the right time. It seems to be when it happens.
You are so right. You are so right. The right moment, the right time.
That's right.
It's supposed to be graduation, y'all. Look, I don't know if y'all heard that commercial. Well, people may not have heard the commercial. I don't gamble or anything at all. But this is one commercial that Kevin Hart is in. You know, made my wings cold. Draft King, he talking about this. You know, my wings cold. We're talking about some food or something.
Yeah.
Put me off over here, King. That's basically what he's saying. You know, one thing I'll tell you, because the same kind of similar thing that you were sharing as far as just having the need for closure, but not even necessarily requesting it, because it wasn't something you thought you needed, but he thought you needed it. And one year after my son Gabriel passed away, the exact same day, at the exact same time, two of my sons went out to play a commemorative game of basketball, which is what happened when he collapsed and everything. They were playing basketball, so they didn't play basketball for the whole year until the day of his death anniversary. Right? And I'm definitely not gonna go too far in this story. So I'm really in the show on my behalf, and y'all take it over and present the certificate. But 1 year later, at that exact same time, up above the tree lines in our yard, there was a smiley face rainbow. And Gabe always smiled, had his dimples showing. He's just that's what he did all the time. And so for God to allow that to be something that He had happened for me in that situation was just confirmation that He cares about me knowing that Gabe is still smiling and happy. You know? And one of the pictures, which we can't find, of course, has the eyes and the nose and the smile. So it's a full smiling face rainbow. It wasn't just like, I hadn't even seen that, just the upside down piece. But that's live and in our yard at that time. So I think God gives some kind of signs to let us know, I got your baby, I got your mama, I got your loved one. Whoever is watching today, He has your loved one. You know?
That's right. Oh, that is beautiful. That's beautiful.
So tell me about Corey and how you keep his legacy going.
Okay, so one thing that you have to know about Corey, like I said, is we want to talk about a determined spirit. He came out of the womb determined. He knew he was here for a purpose. And the way that Corey expressed himself, everybody who has there he is. He was at work in this picture. Corey was an avid computer, all things technical were his love. So he could figure out passwords that nobody ever told him on your computer. We have Amazon receipts to prove this, because there were purchases that boy was making that my husband and I did not choose. I won't even go into the movies that he ordered on DirecTV, and my husband having to change the password every few months because this kid figured it out. Everything technical was his gift. So we knew we had to get him into something with IT. My husband owns his own IT company. So what we did was reach out to some different nonprofits, and Corey began building spreadsheets for this particular nonprofit and entering in their database all the names of their donors and all the donations they would give. So that's a picture of him on the job. Everywhere he went, he had his assistant, whose hands you can see in the corner there, Marco, just for support. But once Corey figured out how to do it, he was there typing. So the way that we commemorate his legacy now, the first thing we've done is establish a scholarship fund called Corey's Campers. And Corey's Campers enables a young adult diagnosed with a developmental difference to be able to attend this amazing summer camp. There it is. This amazing summer camp for children and young adults diagnosed with any kind of special health care need. It's held at Queen's University every year here in Charlotte. And this particular program now is specifically for ages 18 to 30. It's important that we have programs for kids, young adults diagnosed with autism too. Now that autism is becoming more popular, there are more programs available for children, but a lot of times as they continue to grow older, those things kind of fall off. So this program is designed for young adults. It helps them with job readiness. It helps them with traditional summer camp fun and also education. So it's kind of moving them along into adulthood. And this scholarship will pay for someone's tuition to attend that camp. So they get to do some of the same things that Corey loved. Going to grocery stores, this guy will make a list and go on Mondays. On Tuesdays was music therapy. On Wednesdays, he went out to lunch with his assistant and had everybody in the restaurants falling in love with him. So it gives them a schedule, it gives them an opportunity to experience the freedom of being a young adult, but being carefully cared for by staff that understands and takes care of them. So this scholarship allows someone to be able to have a similar experience to what Corey had every day.
Wow.
And that's another testament to his strength. Corey, as I said, later developed epilepsy. And there were days that he would have seizures. And after that seizure, he would still sit up and say, "Mommy, I'm okay." And get himself up from that bed, even if I was following behind him, trying to get him to lie down, get himself a shower and get ready to get out. He knew that he had a purpose, he had things to do, and he was ready to go. So this enables, no matter what the diagnosis, this enables a young person to be able to get out there and do what they came here to do and live their lives. And he definitely did just that.
He was definitely doing more than some of us that got full health.
Let me tell you, right? There were so many days, despite any health challenge, I don't know, if I just bumped my knee, I'd be sitting in bed, nursing myself and whining. And then I'd see him break through the door after a seizure, getting his clothes on. I thought, I better get up every morning. If he can get up and face this world with a smile on his face and take the energy that God gave him to go out there and make a difference, I better get up. In fact, I feel his little foot on my back with this podcast. I've had the idea for a podcast for years, and I just kept sitting on it. And then I met my friend Sharon Brown, took the training from Kim, and it just seemed to come at the right time. So I kind of feel his nudge. If he lived his life and did what he had to do, I've got to do the same. So you're right.
Yes.
Well, even though I know that Corey was a fighter and he was somebody that was inspiring to people, you're being modest about your own struggles in life and being a kidney transplant recipient and probably being a tremendous inspiration to him as well as your entire family. So talk to us from that perspective for a few moments.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. I was diagnosed with kidney failure. That had to be sometime around 2004 or 5. And it came as a complete shock to me because I'm a person who's very mindful about my health. I'm the mom that was running after the kids to make sure they had the vitamins and they were eating the vegetables and all the things. So I literally remember being in the doctor's office telling them, no, that's not right. You need to run the test again because that wouldn't be me. It doesn't fit my profile. That's not right. No. So they did, and it was. And it led to a very emergent story. One particular afternoon, I was at home and I had a really severe hemorrhaging episode, just lots and lots, just hemorrhaging. So my husband ran me to the hospital, and that led to me going to ICU. And when I woke up, that's when the doctor was standing over me. My husband was holding my hand, and the doctor said, "You need to start emergency dialysis right now. Your kidneys are functioning at 20%. And again, there was lying in ICU, still in denial, saying, "No, that doesn't sound right." There's my husband squeezing my hand saying, "It is right." And we need you to go ahead and do this so you can be here. I'm going to be right here with you, and we're going to get through this. So I did dialysis for about 5 years, almost 5 years. And along that journey, I say that dialysis is a blessing for those who can use that as a mechanism to be here. It actually cleanses the blood for the person, since that's one of the responsibilities that the kidneys have. One of the many responsibilities. It regulates blood pressure, it cleanses the blood. There's so much that it does. And as an educator for the National Kidney Foundation, I share that with people. They are mighty, mighty organs. So taking sips of water is more than critical. They're working overtime. So in my case, the thought was, I actually have a diagnosis of lupus, and actually May happens to be Lupus Awareness Month. So their thinking was is that I became ill, a little sick, my immune system was low, and lupus kind of kicked in and hit my kidneys, was the doctor's assertion. That's what their thinking was responsible. What I also told them, I knew
because of the lupus, they think that it led to some of the dialysis need.
Exactly, because I had a diagnosis of lupus, which can affect internal organs. Actually, I'll take a step back. Lupus, for those who don't know, is an autoimmune disorder. And any autoimmune disorder means that the body can take its immune system, which of course is supposed to fight off germs and viruses. It can take those very same, that very same autoimmune immune system and turn it on itself. The body will essentially start fighting itself. So many people diagnosed with lupus find that some of their organs become attacked at some point, or they can. I have gone along with very little issue throughout my life, but that was the major issue. And the doctor's explanation was they felt that I was under the weather, my immune system was low, and it turned itself on my kidneys. I was in denial about that, but what I actually did know, I told them I know what I did. I was so worried at that time because Corey was very young, and I was homeschooling him and our children, but we knew that there were resources in the school system that would help him, speech therapy, music therapy, different things that would help him on the journey. So when he started school, I was very nervous. I was really panicked about allowing my child to go to school when he wasn't even at the place where he was speaking. I was nervous about how that would go for him. So I was so stressed that I went to school with him every day. I was a graduate student at that time, getting my master's in counseling, and I would do my coursework, and I would go to school with him every day, all day, because I wanted to learn everything that the teachers knew. I wanted to replicate that at home. I went with him to therapy, so I would know how to do that. It was just a really stressful time, and I was myself well beyond my limits. So I know that's what happened behind the scenes that may have contributed to my health kind of taking a step down, which may have contributed to lupus coming in with that flare. So I was telling them, I know what I did. Then spiritually speaking, I was in the driver's seat. I had asked God to move over and let me drive instead of trusting in this journey. I did not have any trust. I realized that afterwards. As I sat in there, I thought, I know exactly what I did. I took over when it's not my job to take over. It's my job to surrender. I wasn't doing that.
You acknowledge that. You acknowledge that God, I'm doing the most over here. I need to let you get into the driver's seat.
I literally said all this out loud when I was sitting with the doctor. I said, I know exactly what I did. And I said everything that I just said to you. And the doctor said to me, well, I'm a man of science, and I'm telling you physically what happened. I understand. And I am a woman who understands that we have a body, we have a mind, we have a spirit. And I know exactly what I did. So I just have to go back and change my course. So that's what I have to do. And that led to me.
These people right here, I think, made you decide that it was well worth fighting for, right?
That's exactly what my husband was saying while he was sitting next to me. When I was whispering, no, this can't be right, he was whispering, yes, it can. And we're going to fix this for us.
I went on your Facebook page and grabbed that, right? I was like, I'm going to get a picture of everybody.
You might have some more up-to-date pictures of the people too. I think I sent you a couple in case you saw them. They're all candid now, but you might have a couple more.
Right. I saw one that had one with your daughter on it. I just didn't see one with your oldest son. So I was like, let me find one with both of them in there. But here's one.
I guess it didn't come through. Okay.
There's your daughter. And during the commercial break, you can send me an updated one with your son too. But here's a beautiful updated one with your beautiful princess.
There she is. Incidentally, that is my hair. If you wonder what I looked like when I had hair, that is my hair. One of my locks went missing when I was pregnant with her. And at the time, we didn't know whether I was carrying a boy or a girl. And I told my stylist, this is the girl, and she stole my hair. And she did.
Candice, you freaking can't do. Yeah, down, girl.
So now when we're out and people compliment her on her hair, I say thank you.
Algerina, say something. You know,
amazing. Amazing. It's just, I'm like, I'm suspicious.
you can't make this stuff up.
You can't. I was just going to say, you cannot make this up. I don't care. You cannot make this up. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm looking at you and you don't look like what you've been through. See, that's the difference. You do not look like it. You are pushing through, moving forward with a destiny, with purpose. And that just keeps you going. You got a reason to keep living, to keep pushing. You're looking at your children. You just see, so many times things give us a reason to keep living, to keep pushing, to keep saying, no matter how I feel, I can't throw in the towel now. I have to keep going. I can't. Lives that God uses us to change people's lives. Like your testimony, we overcome by them. This is amazing. I'm telling you right now, I'm just like, God, Jesus, Lord. But let me tell you something, you pushing through. And it's just such an encouragement. Their daughter, beautiful child, beautiful family, and it just gives us the strength to keep going. When we want to say, no, God, I need you to help me. Help me. I'm sitting here and I said, God, this is when I look at you, you're such an inspiration. And I'm so glad that you are at this season of your life, that you will keep moving and keep pushing, that no matter what comes your way, you are an overcomer. No matter what it is in your life, know that you are an overcomer. And that you overcome things that some people threw in the towel a long time ago, huh? But let me tell you something. You have purpose and destiny. So you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going.
Girl, you're gonna have everybody toe down on your show.
Right.
Everybody, I'm telling you right now, thank you, Dr. Liwanda, for taking over.
Thank you, Dr. Liwanda. Thank you.
When this woman's show is out and about, you want to be in your virtual seats. Let's see, a lot of comments have been coming in. So let's take a moment and acknowledge some of our studio audience comments. Algerina, you and Dr. Liwanda, y'all read some of them. Go ahead. Go, Dr. Liwanda, you read it first. Go.
Beautiful. Yeah, transitioning into wholeness. A beautiful family.
Next comment, Mackenzie, keep them popping. Let's do a flash round before we take a break. Flash round. Okay, let's see. All right. Hold on one second. We're going to get. Okay. All right. Give me 1 second, everybody. Let everybody do their own role and responsibility versus me doing. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Good morning, beautiful ladies.
Yeah, good morning.
Arnetta Caldwell is our Reinvent Yourself specialist and Freestyle Friday expert. So if you have not connected with her, she has a conference coming up soon and you don't want to miss it. It's going to be powerful, helping women reinvent themselves, especially if they've experienced some level of divorce and have to reestablish themselves. Okay, transitioning into wholeness. I see that comment. Any other comments? Mackenzie, backstage, pop them up, please. Thank you for sharing your truth. Look how far you've come.
Hi, Athena. Athena is one of my life coaches and one of my friends. Thank you.
Yes. Glad to have you on. Glad to have you on today. All right, I see other comments. I see Dr. Liwanda said yes. Good morning, beautiful ladies.
Tina sent some hearts.
Dr. Tina
love.
Just so you know, Dr. Tina J. Ramsey is the founder of CTR Media Network. So I'll be connecting you all with her. Okay. And that's where we stream our program into 100 countries. You've heard me talk about her already.
Yes.
So I'm talking about Dr. Tina J. Ramsey with CTR Media Network, over 350 million households worldwide. So I'll be connecting you all with her. Okay. All right. Read her comment.
This is so good. It's
Go back, Mackenzie, if you don't mind. I'm talking to Mackenzie backstage. He's gonna read.
This is so good. It's beautiful to have closure. I had such a beautiful closure with my mother after caring for her for years, along with my sister.
Oh, yeah.
And I love the fact that you're saying you had teamwork too with your siblings, and that's a whole nother episode in how to care for an aging parent if you have siblings that assist in that process. Angela, I would love for you to come on and talk about that one day. Go ahead.
Yes. And just say good afternoon, ladies. Good afternoon, ladies. What a beautiful women.
Beautiful women. Yes, these are gorgeous powerhouses on here.
Oh God. Hey.
Anybody else? Any others? Okay.
Candice, you are a blessed lady with an awesome and handsome son, as an angel watching over you and your family.
Yes.
My mom actually uprooted her life and came to Charlotte to help when our son transitioned from this earth. And she had just been at Duke Hospital. It's had surgery. They told her she couldn't walk or move or anything. She was like, I don't care what y'all saying. I'm getting over there to my grandbaby's homegoing celebration. So Dr. Liwanda is so beautiful. Okay, everybody, listen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And then when we come back, we're going to transition so that you can hear more about Good Morning, Mommy, so you can hear more about the show. She's going to tell you the name of it and what her feedback is as to why she even took the training. So we are going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back, everybody, right after this break. Go Candice.
Go Candice.
Hi, I'm Kim Jacobs, the Managing Director of the Charlotte, North Carolina chapter of eWomen Network. I am so excited that you stopped to watch this video. I've got good news for you. You've just discovered an international network of women entrepreneurs who are committed to helping you achieve, succeed, and prosper. We're on a mission here to help 1 million women entrepreneurs each achieve $1 million in annual revenue. Here at eWomen Network, we have a complete success system that supports you every step of the way in building and growing your business. You being here right now is no accident. We're supposed to know about you. We want to meet you to find out how we can help you as well as learn about what you have to offer. With over 500,000 women connected through 118 chapters across the United States, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom, you are never alone. If this is resonating with you, please go to ewomennetwork.com/Charlotte. Notice too my contact information. I invite you to reach out to me and to check out our upcoming in-person and online events. I'm really looking forward to introducing you to our special community.
All right, everyone, we are back. And yes, with eWomen Network, it's across the country, 118 chapters. So you're welcome to join as a businesswoman, entrepreneur. And you can always put Kim Jacobs as the person that invited you into the program. And you don't want to miss, you just don't want to miss being a part of it. If you want to know about the Charlotte events, you go to ewomennetwork.com/Charlotte. And we hold our events at the Charlotte Museum of History. All right, so program here is a 6-week training. After having a show on PBS, the Word Network, and being with NBC, being sent out to do balance makeovers for families and things, kind of like the Super. I figured when the pandemic was hitting, it's an opportunity for us to be able to teach other people how to start their own shows from scratch. So I started sharing the theory with Dr. Les Brown, and he has an endorsement video that you can check out as well. And I have had the pleasure of teaching people from scratch. Some people have never had their show at all, no name, anything. And we create over a 6-week period a program that allows them to be where Dr. Candice Grant is today. So these other two beautiful spirits here have already graduated, but on the day that they graduated, Candice was not able to be in attendance. So I want to take this moment, Candice, and give you the floor as to why did you take the training and any feedback you have for people that might be considering.
I decided to take the training because the idea of a podcast had been living inside of me for a while, a long while. And my original idea was to do something where I would just use my voice, because I have a background in journalism and I've done some radio. And I thought, well, then I'll just do it that way. But my friend Sharon Brown took your training, and I was able to see from the training that she took, the way that she went, the direction that she went in. And I had people saying to me, you know, that's really nice to hear your voice, but actually people will want to see you. I didn't really necessarily think people needed to see me, but I kept hearing it over and over again. So I decided that this was the way to go. And the training has simply been amazing. Kim is good about helping you to learn every single detail, whether you're technical or non-technical, whether you have any idea how to use your computer really, even the way you need to or not. She's going to guide you step by step. So the training is very thorough. She's easily accessible. She makes herself available after hours. And I just can't say enough about how thorough and how compassionate she is with her training. If you are considering a virtual show, she's the one.
I'm gonna pay you. I'll pay you later after the show. I'll just cash up. I'm just joking. Thank you so much for those. Seriously, I really appreciate it. And I know already Dr. Liwanda and Algerina have had a chance to share why they took the training as well. And that's something you can watch on another video, because today we're talking about Candice Grant graduating here. But I will say, since you started doing your show, Algerina, tell us, how has it been now that you've actually, it's one thing to be in graduation mode, which is what Candice is in today. It's another thing to be in, I'm in the thick of this. I'm doing the show. Tell us how you feel now that you're live.
I feel good. First, I was nervous because I was stepping outside my comfort zone. You know, I'm not a talker. And being in training, like you said, is one thing, but actually being in the midst of and doing it, I really feel good about it. I really feel good about what I do and how I do it, because I do it how I do it, and not how somebody else expect me to do it. And that's one thing I was, you know, contemplating about, you know, me being me. Oh, everybody else can do it better, you know, than I can. I'm always my hardest critic, but I'm very well pleased of how it's going, and just being out there and getting comfortable in unfamiliar place.
And you often say something throughout the whole training all the time about some crayons. So tell everybody.
Yes. I love Mr. Crayons. I like that.
So yes. So my show also, you know, yes, we tell our testimonies and how we don't stay in that place, because we can move and we can be successful and we can do it broken, but we wasn't created to be that way. Yes, broken crayons do color, but we were created to be whole. God wants us whole. He wants us to be whole in every area of our life, not just telling it to be broken and doing.
All right, that's a good thing to transition over to Abundantly Restored. Dr. Liwanda, Dr. Liwanda, you are in the thick of this and you are doing this. So tell everybody what it's like with Abundantly Restored episodes Thursday.
You know, it's so ironic because I really didn't see myself doing a second show. And you know, just really just looking at, you know, you always have to have an open mind when it comes to certain things, because every show is not going to be the same. So because I already host Uplifting Monday, it's my inspirational, so my preachers, you know, it's just so uplifting, but also I knew I wanted something a little different. I knew I wanted this show to be different, not the same, but something that would encourage people, but also we would know that there was restoration and that there was so many stories of people that just had some major comebacks. Like they didn't look like what they came from, but to know that, you know, restoration was for them. So I was looking for authors, different ones. I just wanted a different flavor when it came to Abundantly Restored. And so God had gave me a different vision for it. So I was glad that, you know, I was able to have the opportunity to go through this class, you know, and then to have Kim, you know, really lead me, you know, and to really think outside the box with the show. you know, and I like it because she's going to challenge you. So you are going to be challenged. And she challenged me to say, okay, no, you know, you can do this. So I was, you know, really encouraged to decide to go ahead on and to do a second show. And I like it. I don't know, you know, it's so funny. I just didn't see it like this, you know, but every week we get on, it's just something different. I really don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I show up, you know, and I show up and just sit there in expectation of whatever it's going to be. And I go with the flow. And it's amazing. One of the things I thought about, Kim, was when the first show aired, and I tell people, you're going to have these things happen. Don't get upset. Don't panic. We had technical difficulties, but the show had to go on. And I thank God for my sister, that my older sister was my first guest, because she's used to, you know, this was nothing for her. She knew how to jump in to keep going, you know, where someone else might have frozen, but she didn't. She kept going. So that was a blessing to me. That the show still could go on, even in the midst of technical difficulties. But, you know, my prayer is that the show will encourage whoever it is that watches it, and that you will know that you can be restored, and you will be restored. You know, this is not it. This is not just it. You might have had some bad turns, but don't let that determine your destiny. Don't let it determine that this is it for you. No, because you're going to be restored. Trust me, it's coming your way. Restoration is coming your way.
Right on you come, right?
I urge you to tune in on Thursdays at 6:00 p.m. for Abundantly Restored.
Y'all make sure you tune in, because I'm telling you, you're going to have some restoration down in Willie Moore Jr. in this one radio show here. He says down in your shana. And so y'all are going to be restored from the inside out when you tune into Dr. Liwanda Williams' show. All right, Candice, back giving you the floor. Tell everybody the name of your show, because I saved it for now, and when they to tune in, and what is it going to be about? Tell us.
Okay, so the name of my show is the Be Willing Podcast, and it will air on Thursdays at 7. We shifted the time a little bit. Be Willing is not only the name of my podcast, it is the name of my first book, and also the name of the program that came forth from that book. The steps that I outline in that book, which again is called The Guide to Getting Up Again, are 9 steps that I truly believe God gave me as I was literally sitting in that dialysis chair. When I went through that experience of being a kidney failure, I had to go to dialysis, and I was there. I've had so many experiences during that time. One that stands out in particular that I share a lot is I was experiencing what was called fluid overload once, which means that there was too much fluid in my system, and I needed an extra dialysis treatment. Unusual for me, because I was really careful about all my guidelines, you know. But that particular day, I dropped Corey off at school, and I had too much fluid on, so I had to run and have emergency dialysis. During that time, before I got to the hospital, I could not breathe. I lost connect. I couldn't breathe. I'd never been in that situation before, but that was terrifying. And I remember lying on that gurney, and I remember them getting me together, and I literally closed my eyes and prayed and said, God, you have to breathe for me, but I can't find it. I can't catch it. Breathe for me, God. And he did it. He did it. So there's so many moments along that journey, joyful moments and moments where I just did not know. The doctors didn't know. Nobody knew what was going to happen next. So I've had the experience of being in a situation where change came flooding in all of a sudden. Whether it was my son Corey having a seizure all of a sudden when we're in the middle of the store, whatever it is, changes that are large like that or small. Maybe it's just a job that someone's deciding to take and move on. It's graduation because it's that season. Whatever it is, change visits us, and it does not have to keep us down. There are ways to get back up again. So I want the podcast to reflect those 9 tenets that I really truly believe that God gave me to help me move from what was near death back to life. I want people to know that change it's going to visit our path. But as these 2 ladies just said, we are not meant to stay broken. We are not meant to stay down. We are meant to get up, and God gives us the ability to do so. So the podcast will be me talking about those tenets and sharing stories. I'll share resources for all people, but particularly for fellow caregivers who have children diagnosed with special needs, for people who are going through chronic illnesses, as well as just people who are dealing with change in general. The format's I'm gonna play with it a little bit, but yeah, we'll be here on Thursdays at 7 to encourage people to keep moving forward and to get up after being hit by change.
Yes. Okay, y'all. So you want to make sure you tune into Be Willing. Be willing to get up. Be willing to start again. Be willing to accept some of the things that are out of our control. I'm just making up my own stuff over here. They know how I go. I just stop flowing with some of the stuff. Right? But you just got to be willing. And this woman is a willing vessel that's willing to do whatever God is requiring of her at the different seasons in her life. So I'm so grateful for your program that's happening on Thursdays at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've put up Candice information for you to stay connected with her. And again, podcast listeners that don't see this, I want you to go to, tell them where they can go on Instagram at author Candice Grant, which she's
on
spelling
Instagram. Yes, that's right.
Tell them.
You got it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk over. You got it.
No. You please. You tell them.
Okay.
Where can they stay connected?
Yes, on Instagram at author. Yes, at author Candice Grant. That's Candice with a K. Kandace. Author Candice Grant on Instagram. Also, you can find me at Self-Care Circle, the number 4 Caregivers on Instagram. You can email me. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a little website there, about.me/Candice Grant. And you can also email me at authorcandicegrant@writeme.com.
All right. So we come to the conclusion almost of today's broadcast and program and graduation ceremony. First of all, it speaks volumes, ladies, Dr. Liwanda and Algerina, for you all to come back. You've already been through your graduation, but because you all formed a sisterhood in your class, you showed up again for her graduation. That speaks volumes about who you are as individuals. And I thank you personally for that.
I thank you too. Thank you, because you didn't have to do it.
I didn't want to miss it. Nope, definitely didn't want to miss it. Definitely.
So on that note, we would like to, well, I do want to also, because we're going to close out with the final piece, but I want to put the books that are available for Dr. Candice Grant, who will be, that's her stage name, the Candice Grant. I'm presenting her stuff today in her government name, okay? So, but here are some of the authors as well. And if you just follow her through some of the social media platforms we've described, you'll be able to get access to all of her books and material. I do also want to take a moment to present, and I know we've already presented your certificates, but just because you all came back again, I want to play, I think this is copyright free. This is a copyright free. Okay, so congratulations again to these 3 individuals, 2 of which have already graduated, graced us again. Dr. Liwanda Williams, she graduated on April 9th, 2024 from the Kim Jacobs online course of How to Start Your Own Show from Scratch. Dr. Liwanda Williams, congratulations. Also, Algerina Pringle, who graduated on April 9th from Kim Jacobs Show from Scratch. Congratulations, Algerina Pringle. And today, we are presenting on May 8th, 2024, Certificate of Completion, the Kim Jacobs online course, How to Start Your Own Show from Scratch, is presented to Candice C. Grant. Congratulations to you, Candice.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Let the comments, get some congratulatory messages right quick. So this is congratulations. Carlene, my mom said congratulations. Carlene, another graduate, says congratulations. My mom said you are a blessed woman, blessed lady. Congratulations on your new show. Arnetta Caldwell said congratulations to you. All right, y'all keep them all coming. I see Dr. Liwanda said congratulations, Candice. So,
thank you.
Woo! We got
Thank you
through a
so
lot.
much.
Don't you think? Do you think we got through a whole lot in an hour, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh, we did. We did.
Yes.
And can I just
right.
say, please? Can I just please tell everyone, please tune into these ladies' shows. I am inspired every single time I listen. I mean, really. I mean, not only did I enjoy going through training with you, seriously, there are moments that I listen and you say exactly the thing I needed to hear in that moment, both of you. So thank you for your example, and thank you for coming back to celebrate with me. Kim, thank you for all that you offer. I attended my first eWomen Network meeting with her. She's just as vivacious in real life as she is here on screen. She emceed that whole program and had everybody feeling so comfortable and loved. And I just want to thank all of you. You're all amazing women, and I truly am honored to know you.
Thank you. Any closing comment from you, Algerina and Dr. Liwanda? Anybody want to say a closing comment?
Just to, Candice, wishing you the best of everything. I know it's going to be phenomenal. I can't wait. I'm excited for you. I'm excited, for your destiny. I'm excited for the next for you, because there is a purpose for you. And now you know your purpose. You're going to keep going forward. Just keep moving, keep pushing. And I'm excited. I'll be back. I'll be here cheerleading. I'll be here cheerleading you on. Trust me, I'll be here. As long as God says so, I'll be here. So definitely. And it's such a blessing to be able to meet you and to be able to go through this process with you. So I'm blessed to know you. Definitely.
Thank you.
And Algerina?
And I'm just honored to be connected to each and every one of y'all. It's such an honor. Connections is real. Connections is necessary. I'm glad to be a part of it.
Yes.
And I'm honored to be given the opportunity to serve as your coach. I did not take that lightly and don't take it lightly whenever I train anyone, because you're inviting me into a lot of your personal world. So thank you for extending this privilege to me. Our next group training is coming up, and sometimes I show these episodes over and over again, so I'm not going to say the exact date, but within the next few weeks, the next training class is starting. We only have 5 seats because I have to customize the show to each of you as individuals. So if you'd like to join in on our next training and get your seat secured, go ahead and reach out to me, 704-944-3534. And thank you, Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, because I see that you refer people over. Some people will come and try to be a part of CTR Media Network. And she's like, how about this? You go get that training, boo-boo. And I love it. I just love the partnership and the teamwork. So thank you, Dr. Tina J. Ramsey. You can also email me, kim@thebalancedoctor.tv. Congratulations, Candice. You are most deserving of this honor today.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you all in the studio audience. We love you all. Make sure you tune into each of their shows. You will not be disappointed. You're going to be crying. We already saw that. You're going to be laughing. You'll hear a little bit of raw talk, because Algerina be like, oh, man.
Algerina, yeah. Algerina, definitely. I'm like, you go ahead, girl. I'm like, you go ahead.
I was like, Algerina. All right, everybody. Have a great day.
Have a good one. Thank you, Kim. Have a great one.
You.
We love you all. Bye.
Bye, everybody in the studio audience. Take care. Take care. We'll go ahead and close out today's episode.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.